Hey there, and welcome back to Idle Weekly. Once again, this series has been inactive for a while, but hopefully, going forward from this episode, it won't be anymore. And today's game will be Clicker Heroes 2. So, as you can see, with this save, I'm only in world 90. It's because I started over when the ethereal items went live, and when I was testing something for my mod, I kinda accidentally mistyped a command and therefore deleted my entire saves folder, and I didn't have any recent backups in file form. I had only the exports, and exports don't really... And exports are kinda buggy, so I did manage to fix it by reaching a guild, but I wasn't sure how fixed it was, so I decided to start over again, and this time I will keep proper backups. I copy-paste the entire app data folder, or the entire Clicker Heroes 2 folder in the app data somewhere else every now and then. But anyway, so this is my current save that I will be using for this build. And I just want to say a few things later, soon, in this, about this save and this build and future builds and such. What should I go with? Guess multi-clicks. Although I don't really want more multi-clicks, click damage and haste. I don't really want the haste nor multi-clicks in this scenario because of the exhaustion. Ring, quick damage, yes, I'll take it. Sure. So bonus gold chance per skill point acquired. That could be fine for a gold builds. This goes away, and this goes away. So I have currently 60% crit chance with a 17,000% crit damage bonus. Because as you can see, I have 5 levels of crit damage here. Here is some crit chance. I decided to go with treasure chest gold for this one because the other bonuses are huge click, monster gold and treasure chest chance. So I thought that this would be better. Although this chance is pretty high, 4 levels. So I guess that could work as well. But anyway, so the game I will be, this is version 10.9, and I will be downloading this version from the website soon separately to keep playing this particular save. Because what will happen soon with the game is that they are completely redesigning the entire game's balance, or how the game works. It will be closer to the first game, so it won't be this varied challenge-based action RPG as it is right now. Right now it is. Let's go with this. Right now it is challenge-based in the sense that you have these traits that you have to battle against, so you have to make your build against them. For example, against the exhausting, I went with a build that focuses on auto attack storm, auto attacks, and a lot of crit. So crit damage with auto attacks, and some multi-click on top of it. But the multi-click is basic. As you can see, I did not go for flurry, I did not go for a killing frenzy, I could go for this, but I don't want too much haste. I already have too much of it, 180%. Or 200. I think my base haste is like 400%. I don't want more. I think in exhausting I would recommend not going over 200%, to be honest. Of course it depends on what build you want to go with, but that will be mine. But yeah, anyway. So currently you have to make your builds based on the traits you get and the ethereal items that you're getting. So this is the challenge, coming up with different fun builds to battle against the loot you get. And this seems to be, from what I read, this seems to be going away. The game will have permanent progression between runs, and well, that's what people demanded, permanent progression. But there are downsides to it. At least I consider them downsides. So I will have 2 different saves on 2 different clients. I will keep the 10.9 with this save, and this is the save I will be using since I'm backing it up properly now. Then I hopefully won't lose this one. And I will have the separate Steam one for the latest builds. And I will be starting over because that will be a big redesign, so I want to see it from the very beginning again. I'm sure they will make it fun. They always have. But that's just what I wanted to say about this save and the builds and such. Now, when it comes to the previous guild, it was robust, so crit hit chance was decreased by 100%. In this build I spec'd into gold, so I used golden clicks, or golden... It was golden clicks, right? Yeah, golden clicks. I used golden clicks and I stacked as much gold bonuses as possible. As many different gold bonuses as possible. Treasure chest chance, treasure chest gold, monster gold. Especially monster gold. Until I got a good enough amount of treasure chest chance, and then I also added some treasure chest gold on top of it. But as far as my ethereal items went, I didn't really have any treasure chest. I didn't have a lot of treasure chest based ones, so it's just stacked monster gold. Or gold received even. Well, basically the same thing. That's what I was doing there. And I wonder what the next one will be. The next one will be Gargantuan, right. So 5 hacking chonkers per zone. So this is basically 5 monsters in each zone. That means the zones have a set amount of health, which is distributed between the amount of monsters that are in the zone. So normally the zone has 50 monsters per seed. 5 means it has 10 times less, which means each monster has 10 times more health. And in that build, in that guild I will be stacking, or not stacking, I will be going a mana crit build. I did that in my previous save that got to like level 200 something, 240 or so. And I also did it in the experimental save, where I was testing out these different world traits. And I will be going it again, because I think mana crit works well against Gargantuan. So you want everything, so you want a lot of stuff from this side. But I also always go with Charitor's Enchantment. I always go with Synchrony. I just can't do any builds without these. Actually, I can. The two nodes that I can't do any builds without are Hekaton's Echo and Huge Click Discount. I really like these 2 nodes. They're my favorite nodes in the game, I think. I just have to include them in every build. But I think for a mana grid build, Gelator's enchantment would be useful as well. So I will fast forward until the end of this world now. Now, the reason why I'm a higher level than the monsters in this world is because of offline progress. I went offline when I was already in this world. And so when I came back it had repeated it a few times already. And that's why. Because I used the setting attempt next up to guild. So what it does is it goes up to the gilded world and then repeats this until you stop it. It's meant to be for when you are offline for too long, close to your guild and or away, and so you don't so you can still use your skill points. But anyway, let's guild with Gargantuan. Yay, multiplied by 100% as usual. So attempt next up to guild as usual. And what will I do? Well, first of all I will definitely go with power surge and more automator speed, 51,000%. And I think I will keep multi-click at 10 seconds, even though it isn't necessary really with with Gargantuan anymore. Let's go with both of these. So my previous guild, the exhausting one, that because I don't click as much, I did click quite a bit near the end of the guild, but most of the time I was auto-attacking. I didn't fail any of the bosses, not a single time, even though my build was a complete mess. And I used to do it better in the previous one, but I can't remember how I did it anymore. But it was still good enough to not fail a single boss during the entire guild, so it was fine enough. And it just was moving a bit slower because I wasn't clicking as much, and my multi-click was at 10-second cooldown, minus haste or automator speed. My automator is a complete mess right now, as you can see. I don't have any ideas for it at the moment, but I'm sure I will have some in due time. Before they changed the game to be like this, with the ethereal items and the world traits, I had a plan to make a massive 5-page or 5-tab automator, but I don't know if I'm able to do that now. I can probably do 3 pages, but probably not 5. Because you have to change the builds quite a lot. I think I will just boost it a little bit. As you can see, Gargantuan. Oh, sometimes Gargantuan is still bugged with this. The boss is gone. Maybe I can actually make it 4 seconds. Why not? I mean, I will be mostly using or more using mana crit than multi-click, but I think it's fine because they use different resources. Mana crit uses mana and multi-click uses energy. So it doesn't matter how much I use multi-click. It just helps along. But yeah, so far so good. So what I know about the redesign is that basically we will have Ascension and the game's difficulty will keep growing. You don't, with Ascension, you don't ascend back to World 1. You will keep going, but the game scales slower. The game will be additive and linear. So instead of each world being about 15 times harder than the previous, each world will be about like 17% harder than the previous. Basically a lot less than right now. Because currently the game is exponential and it needs to be harder like that. Otherwise it wouldn't work. And you can basically... I wonder what they will do with the Hetherlum items though. Since people didn't like the RNG of getting loot for some reason, even though in RPGs that's the most satisfying thing there is. And I really like this, that you have to rely on the RNG, get the items, and then make builds around those items. So as you can see, I have been collecting some mana crit damage items. I want to make my mana crit as powerful as possible. So that will be amazing. Once I get this guild started, I will probably have to get through about 2 worlds before I switch to the mana crit items. Unfortunately, I don't have a mana crit based helmet, so I will have to improvise with that one. Helmets are rare. It's interesting. Super rare. And when I do get them, then I get improved energize or something like that. And I don't want those. Improved energize, sustained power surge. They are not for me. The interesting thing about the world traits is that after a while, I can't remember how many guilds it is, but basically after a while you will start getting 2 traits for your guilds at the same time. Then over time you will reach guilds where you get 3 traits at the same time, and it keeps going like that. But a few of the traits are mutually exclusive as far as I know, because they wouldn't work together at all. It would be impossible to do. But it's possible that they didn't make them mutually exclusive. I hope they did. I haven't reached far enough to know, but yeah. I think I want to showcase this save again when I reach about world 150. That should be a guild, right? So the gilded world at level 150. So just a few guilds from now. This guild and the next one. And then I will talk about my progress. But for now, I think I have... Well, I'll just say this about the redesign, that basically I'm sure they will make it fun as this version is. But it will be just so different that I want to keep playing this version as well. Because that one would be for permanent progression, and this one would be for the challenges. And those are the main differences, basically. And with the other one, I will, depending on when the redesign happens, I will be showcasing that probably about that save that I will make. I will probably show it about when I'm about to ascend the first time. That's when I will showcase that. But until then, well, depends on whether I reach this save to 150 first or this design happens first. So we'll see. You'll see it in the next one. And I will title the episode accordingly once it happens. But so far I really enjoy Gargantuan 2. It's probably one of my favorite incremental games. Let's get this. More piglets for gold receipt. Yay, and it's a helmet. I have future huge click already, but it could work. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Did I click something there? Don't know. Anyway, bye.